the details coming out of this case in Memphis, Tennessee, involving the mother who unalived the 20-year-old predator of her 13-year-old daughter. The details are getting murkier and murkier, and it is not looking good for anybody. We're going to talk about this in a brief switch from our usual content, and we're going to talk about what was really going on with this case. You're not going to believe this.
I got the phone call. It was from her cousin. They were saying that she had got arrested. At that time, nobody knew exactly what had happened. They just said she got arrested and they needed some bun money. At that point, I had cashed out $1,500. I'm thinking it's just for some DD shit with one of her niggas, which is typical normal shit, right? So then when I got the phone call back, they was like, oh, she didn't unalive the dude, I'm not gonna say her daughter's name, she's still a minor, I'm respect that. She unalived him.
I don't know what that is when people kind of be telling a serious story and they kind of chuckle their way through it. I heard that. I know she didn't mean anything by it, but that's got to be studied. You just relayed that this boy was unalived, and while you're relaying the story, you kind of chuckle. Yeah, a little weird.
Okay, well, the bitch ain't getting the bun. So everybody just held off till we heard more. For one, it wasn't no sneaking in. She knew of their relationship. They had been dating going on 2 years.
Now, they say the victim in this case, well, the unaliving victim, was of a diminished capacity, but we're still talking about an 11-year-old child and an 18-year-old boy, and the mama knew about it. Yeah, this is just going to keep getting sicker and sicker, and I just have no words for this. One thing I know for sure, he should have been under the jail soon as that happened, and probably the mom too. That's crazy.
Okay, he was able to come to the house and do everything. However, she had told him he could no longer come over there because she wanted him to pay her light bill. He didn't have the money. So she told her daughter he cannot come over here no more until that motherfucker give her some money. Okay?
Wow. Like, for real? This is how you get down? Number one, shouts out to the snitch that's relaying all this information, because you know she not lying. People will smile in your face, listen to all your nasty, trifling mess, and then when the heat get turned on, all of us content creators out here hanging on every word, just trying to get some money, just like she was trying to get from a 18-year-old mentally disabled kid for a light bill. Nasty work.
She didn't steal her mama credit card. Her mama got him the Uber because she lied like he was finna bring her cash. That's all he had, cash. He wasn't able to cash out, steal none of that. All he had was cash.
This got to be about the most ignorant part of the whole thing. You know, everything aside, and it's pretty ignorant. You're gonna buy an Uber for this individual to come over to bring you money for your light bill. Save that Uber money and pay your light bill. What's really going on? How big was this light bill?
Right? However, that's why he made it there. She told him she was on the way home. He could be there when she's there so she can get the bread. That's why it's 30 minutes apart. It wasn't no, she was trying to sneak him in and get him there before the mama got home. No, he just arrived literally, because it takes about 15, depending on if you cut over. It takes about 30 minutes for you to get back to that side of town. Okay, that's how long it took. She got there. He didn't have the money. That's when he ran. They get into an argument. He ran into her room, shut the door. He got up under the bed.
So now we finally at the point where this individual is under the bed, and explains a lot of how we sensationalize headlines, and then you start getting that information, because everybody was ready to, put this mom on a stamp, give her a hero's award when we first saw that headline. She catch a 20-year-old in a room with her 13-year-old daughter. Yeah, okay, say less. But now we start to get details, and these details is very unsettling. Very unsettling.
She talking, that's when she got the gun, went in there and get the fuck out of my house, all this and that. Said a few words, turned around and walk out. That's when she did what she did. The reason why they're trying to get her for premeditated murder is because the daughter ended up showing the text messages where she said, if he come back to my house and ain't got my money, I'ma kill him.
And there it is, premeditated murder. Yeah, although Miss Scott has bonded out, $100,000 bond was confirmed today, which is crazy in itself because, on the onset, there was going to be GoFundMe pages to get this woman out of jail because, again, we saw that headline and we don't always have this information. Now, the TikTok era is a double-edged sword. We get all this information, we're getting all these details long before a court gets to hear any of these facts. But right now, this is all hearsay that we're listening to and conjecture. But it does have an element of truth, especially if this individual has been dealing with this child for over 2 years and mom knew about it. Yeah, nasty work. Nasty work.
Wow.
Yeah, she
so it's jail. Not. Yes, he's the predator thing.
He should be in jail.
Be a thing. That's an issue. Yes, but however, the mama was condoning the shit that's been going on.
Yes, the mama needs to be in jail.
To her, we can't say nothing because that ain't our child. We can't do none of that. That ain't our business. However, we can say how that shit is disgusting, but if you allowing it, you would allow it. She was allowing it because it was making her stay at home to watch the other kids. As far as her having a job and 2-3 jobs, Kiki ain't never held down no job. Yeah, she worked at Amazon. Her real name Kendra, but we call her Kiki. She worked odd jobs here and there, but bitch ain't never held down no job for real. Though she wasn't coming from overnight work, and she was coming from her dual house to try to get the money for the light bill.
So I'm going to leave with this. This was a post that came out, purported to be from the 13-year-old. And she's expressing her sorrow and her anger at her mother. Sorrow over the loss of this predator. And I'm going to keep calling him a predator. And anger at her mother. Because this child obviously saw what happened. She knew what was happening. It's crazy. But we have this gut knee-jerk reaction to always ask, well, where was the father in all this? Where was his father? What was the big homies that told this 20-year-old, you shouldn't be messing with no child? Even if you're a child, mind yourself. You're not a child. That's number one. Number two, hell, where was the 34-year-old's father? Why they ain't messing with him? Why is this 34-year-old making a 13-year-old watch these children while she off, as this friend is saying, at the dude's house? This is all kinds of nasty work. Where this thing goes, I don't know. But if you find yourself questioning who's more at fault here, it's all nasty. Both of them should be in jail. Both of them. But instead, one's out on bond, the other's 6 feet under. The situation that they were in 2 years ago, honestly, mom should have been in jail long before that. She shouldn't have to worry about kids because those kids should have been taken away from her while she was serving the time for contributing to the delinquency and the exploitation of her own child. That's what this is.